enjoyed your holidays. Welcome to episode 100, part 3 of Africa's premier sports video podcast, the Three Quarters Podcast. As usual, remember to jump onto the hashtag 3QP. Let us know what you want to see on the show and what's going on in the sporting world. I'm Demima Duffield.
And I'm Naraka Muya.
Episode 100.
Yeah.
The big 100.
The big 100. I mean, we've been at it now going into 3 years. And on behalf of the Three Quarters Podcast, all we can do is thank our viewers for being with us for 100 episodes. So thank you very much and keep watching. We don't stop at 100.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yep.
I did not just say that. So, E.P.L match day 21. We had Arsenal finally convincing win 4-1 against Fulham. We had Cardiff City losing to Tottenham 3-0.
Yeah.
Chelsea draw with Southampton, which is interesting because they had 72% possession, but what happens.
Yeah.
We had Newcastle losing to Man United 2-0, and Man City beating Liverpool. I think that was the one everybody was watching.
Yeah.
Man City beating Liverpool 2-1.
2-1, yeah. You know, I mean, prior to that game, of course, Liverpool were aiming for what the Gunners set in 2004, Arsenal, which was an unbeaten season. They went the whole season unbeaten. Them losing, of course, that means that it's not going to happen. So I was just following on Twitter, I was following the game, and I was seeing somebody commenting, just taunting a Liverpool fan, that unbeaten in my eye. But anyway, Liverpool finally losing to Manchester City. The other results, save for Chelsea, was Southampton, which is, as you say, it was a 72% possession game for Chelsea. But it just goes to show, what you keep saying, that look, you need to convert your chances.
Yep.
You can have all the possession in the world, but if it doesn't turn to goals, you don't get the points.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't win by possession.
Yep, you don't win by possession.
Yep. So match day 22, we've got West Ham versus Arsenal. 48% on Arsenal, 27 on West Ham. Brighton versus Liverpool. 72 on Liverpool and 10 on Brighton. Chelsea versus Newcastle. 70 on Chelsea and 7 on Newcastle.
Yeah.
We've got Tottenham versus Man United. 43 on Tottenham and 30 on Man United. And then Man City versus the Wolves.
Yeah.
81 on Man City and only 6 on the Wolves. Do you agree with this?
Yes. Save for actually. Okay, the biggest game this weekend is going to be Spurs versus United, of course. While they say that it's 43% on Spurs and 37 on United, I feel that there's been a sort of resurgence at Manchester United because of the recent, of course, termination of Jose Mourinho and hiring of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer, of course, is an old boy of Manchester United, and he understands what Manchester United is, and that's what he's been telling the players ever since he got there. We are Manchester United. This is how we deserve to play, and we've seen a very positive, resurgence for Manchester United in the last few games. So it's a big game, and while the form favors Spurs because of their consistency, I wouldn't write off United.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
We've been seeing a more sort of convincing Man United.
Yes.
So let's just see how that game goes. Now we go on to F1.
Yes.
So Michael Schumacher turns 50, and he had an accident skiing in France roughly like 5 years ago, and he's just been out to the public eye since then. But this is a very big deal, and Ferrari are making it a big deal. Everyone's making this a big deal, and it's like sort of like a tribute for everything he's contributed to the sport.
Yes. Michael Schumacher, like you said, he suffered head injuries when he had a skiing accident in France in 2013. And like you're saying, he's been off the public eye for a hot minute. Actually, we don't know what his condition is, to be honest. I know he was in a coma for a very long time. The family have not really commented on what sort of shape Michael Schumacher is in.
Yeah.
But the reason why you see a lot of pomp around his 50th birthday is because of the contribution that Michael Schumacher has brought to the sport of F1. He's a 7-time champion. All these guys right now, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, they all look up to Michael Schumacher because of his record-setting, career. 7 championships, he's the highest ever. And if you ask me, yes, there was the flamboyance of Ayrton Senna in the 90s, but Michael Schumacher, first, in his era, it was more about the driver than the car.
Yeah.
You get the feeling, and that's why very many guys, they gravitate towards Lewis Hamilton nowadays, because there's a general feeling that with him, it's less to do with the car, it's more about the driver.
It's more about him, yeah.
And in Schumacher's days, it was the same thing. It was more of the driver than the car. and Schumacher, excelled in that. And if you ask me also from a commercial standpoint, I think F1 really blew up in the Schumacher years when he was the dominant person in F1. So yeah, that's the reason why Ferrari are making it big. That's the reason why Mercedes are making it big, because guys don't know that he came out of retirement and actually had a 3-year contract with Mercedes. That's why F1 are making it big. Toto Wolff is going making comments on Mercedes. So yes, he does deserve it, because like I'm saying, if you ask me, in my opinion, he's the reason why F1 has a lot of fans right now.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, he's a household name.
Yes.
And even if you didn't watch him, there's no way you don't know Michael Schumacher. Maybe you don't know what he's done, but it's still a name that resonates with F1.
True. You know how you have these iconic players or iconic athletes in various sports. I mean, we talk about basketball and Michael Jordan. In F1, it's Michael Schumacher.
It's Michael Schumacher, definitely.
Yeah.
So now we move on to basketball. Yes. So, N.B.A. wrap-up.
Yes.
Name that sticks out for me is Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And Sacramento Warriors.
Yeah.
And that being the game with the most three-pointers.
Yeah.
Like in history.
Look, I mean, I was watching an interview. There was an interview between Steph Curry, they call the Splash Brothers, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, because of their three-point accuracy. That's why they refer to the Splash Brothers, and they're a backcourt, and a point guard and shooting guard. And on the other side was Bad Boy Pistons, a backcourt of Joe Dumas and Isaiah Thomas. And they were talking about how the game has changed and the three-point, and how the three-point is important, the jump shot, and how these guys are very good at it, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So you never get, I mean, you hear these guys have dropped 14 threes in a game, one person, you're like, Jesus Christ. I mean, some guys, in fact, Klay Thompson was saying that he thinks his father, in his whole career, because his father also played for the Los Angeles Lakers, he says that his father must have dropped 12 threes in his whole career. That's like one game for Klay Thompson. So, look, it doesn't shock me, and it was always going to come with the way the game has opened up. A couple of things, of course, to note. The Lakers, in the holiday season, of course, the Lakers beat the Golden State Warriors. And then there was also the issue of the game between Golden State and Houston Rockets. 2 buzzer beaters by James Harden. One to take the game into overtime and one to kill the game for the Houston Rockets. So I'll just quickly read how the conferences are looking out. In the Eastern Conference, you have the Milwaukee Bucks at first. Toronto, I'm just reading the playoffs, by the way. Milwaukee Bucks at number 1, Toronto Raptors number 2, Indiana Pacers third, Philadelphia 76ers 4th, Boston Celtics 5th, Miami Heat 6th, Jesus, I can't read my New Jersey Nets, and the Charlotte Hornets. In the West, you have Denver at number 1, OKC number 2, OKC is Oklahoma City Thunder, Golden State Warriors number 3, Clippers number 4, Houston Rockets 5, San Antonio Spurs 6, Portland Trail Blazers 7, and the Los Angeles Lakers at number 8.
So now we move on to our bonus topic. And it's all about the Sports Act of 2013, basically, and whether people have complied with it or not. I remember at some point in 2016, Kerry, you were among the local federations, that wanted amendments to be done to the Sport Act. So maybe tell people a little more about what it is and how it is that you can comply, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know.
It's a very interesting conversation. Actually, 1st or 2nd or 3rd, one of those, 2nd of January, I was having a conversation with someone, and he was asking me whether my club has complied with the Sports Act, and it got me thinking. And the reason why this conversation has come up is because we know there's a big election coming up in the Kenya Rugby Union in March. And during last year's election, the 2018 election, our director and myself, who are the union, are watching the elections. And there was one thing that came out. The Registrar of Sports was there, and she made a comment, and she said most of the clubs in Kenya Rugby have not complied with the Sports Act. And as a matter of fact, they were not supposed to vote. So some chairman or some guy, I don't want to mention his name, he stood up and he made very serious comments. The stakes are very high, a lot of nonsense if you ask me, BS. And anyway, the election proceeded. If somebody challenges that election, by the way, they have grounds. Because people voted, yet they have not complied with the Sports Act.
Like they're ineligible, basically.
Exactly, they're ineligible. So what's compliance? Compliance is and I think Section 47 of the Sports Act. And it's very clear for the existing sports organizations, you have to be registered with the Registrar of Sports. And you have to get a certificate to show that you've been registered. Only then can you be recognized as a member of an affiliate body, for lack of a better word. In this case, Kenya Rugby Union. And only then can you then participate in the election that's going to be happening in March.
Yep.
So when we were having this discussion, we realized that not too many clubs have complied because of the issue of your constitution has to be in line with what is it called? With the Sports Act. I know for a fact Kenya Harlequins ratified their constitution during the AGM. So they're in line with the Sports Act. How many teams have complied with the Sports Act? I'm not too sure. And it's not only in rugby.
Yeah.
It's in all sports.
Of course.
All sports across the country. So then the question goes out to the people out there and the people who are going to be watching this and the officials who are in charge. Forget about even the sports club. Is your federation or your union compliant with the Sports Act?
Yes.
Is your club compliant with the Sports Act? Because I think guys overlook this compliance thing a lot, and it's going to be detrimental to sports. So guys need to comply with the Sports Act. Guys need to be in line with the Sports Act and the provisions of the Sports Act. And it's like we said, Damima, it's a progressive piece of legislation, and if we intend to make sports commercial in this country, it's only through such things.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a resident, lawyer in the house. I'm sure every club also has, their own. So I think a lot of the time these things are sort of abandoned and not addressed because people don't understand them. Look for somebody who does, because this could cost you in the future.
True.
Yep.
Very true.
So guys, remember you can find us on social media. That is by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm Jamima Duffield.
And I'm Narakamuye.
And it's a wrap for episode 100.